NFL 24. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. Coming up next.
From the home of the Bills since way back in 1973, there's a look at Highmark Stadium just outside of Buffalo, New York. Today we've got a compelling AFC matchup for you, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Buffalo Bills. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes, because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they could also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
And we are underway in Buffalo. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
I remember when he came out of Wyoming, the big question mark, could he be accurate enough to be a star in the NFL? I think it's safe to say he's put all of us in our place and put those doubts to rest. He can roll out and run it. He can bomb it over your heads. Everything in between. He's an absolute nightmare for defenses to try and prepare for. And when he's on, he's an MVP caliber player each and every time he takes the field.
Allen looking to throw it right at the outset. That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Well, this defense certainly knows they're going to have their hands full trying to slow down this passing game. Here's an example on the very first play from scrimmage. I think we'll see some different looks, maybe some pressure from different places, but it didn't work there, and it's a quick first down.
And meanwhile, Allen's throw taken in by Diggs. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Play action. Now it's Allen. And that is incomplete.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
Here's 2nd and 10. Allen gonna throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Allen. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. Here's Smith to return it. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Wilson and the Broncos now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Off the play fake. Wilson finds Dulcich out left side. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They work now on 2nd and 9. They go play action now. Wilson. And this will be incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. That's a smart move to throw it away.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now it's Wilson. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. Well, anytime you sack Russell Wilson, that's a win for the defense. But to get him here on his opening drive of the ballgame, that's a really big win for that defense.
And the goal every week, keep him in the pocket. Don't let him get to the perimeter, because when he's in the open field, not only can he hurt you, but also you lose sight of receivers downfield, and they'll hurt you with big plays.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Deontay Hardy back deep. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or two shy of midfield. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. It's complete to Diggs. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
They run. 1st carry for Damian Harris. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, boy, tough conditions out there. I don't know if a defender slipped or what, but he had a man wide open, and that's a bad one to miss on. They don't come a whole lot easier than that one right there.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
The kick by pass is good, and the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both of these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. A quick throw there is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target. But he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Flushed out right. And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the first. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And he checks this one down to Williams.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now 2nd and 9. To throw is Wilson. And that'll be incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Wilson. Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich. And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this one is no good. He missed it. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. Shoves him away. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Throwing on first down is Allen. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And he's brought down. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On play action, Allen. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up second down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Now a first carry for the brother of Dalvin. It's James Cook, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear, but here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. They run for it with Harris. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Good spot on the field to go for it. Kind of no man's land, as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter's telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow. Might be too far for the field goal. So it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And now they'll throw with Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. Now Allen. Buying time to his left. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Like any team plan, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
So on 4th down, off goes Allen. On comes Tyler Bass for the Buffalo field goal. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Wilson's throw taken in by Sutton. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he's going to have a Broncos first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Short throw caught by Dulcich. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Throwing is Wilson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A first catch for Jeudy, good for a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. Fights through him, fighting his way through contact. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Perfect execution on that inside handoff, and then a little will, a little brute strength to move forward after the contact.
What do we call that now in today's NFL? Heck, in today's football? Contact balance, right? That's the buzzword, the phrase you hear. A back who can absorb contact, bounce off of it, and keep moving. Just what you said, brute strength, force of will.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 right at the 20. They run it again with Williams. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 15-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
In motion right, that's Hamler. And they'll fake the jet sweep, and instead of give up the middle to Williams. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. On 2nd down, Williams. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. The Broncos on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Here's Wilson. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Only a 3-yard loss there on the sack, but more importantly, it leads to a 4th and goal. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bills going to take over again on offense. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They run again with Harris. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Now a give. Running left is Harris. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
2nd and 9. From midfield, here's Allen. Finding Knox there, complete.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That is caught. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 32-yard line. A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
On 1st down, Allen. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Here's a 2nd and 8. Play action. Now it's Allen. Going right back to Knox, and again a completion. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
Ball start, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still first down.
That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, 1st and goal. Harris running straight ahead. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Again, it's Harris. And good work there defensively as you're able to keep him out of the end zone. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Harris is in. Touchdown, Bills.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
The Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Denver's offense now set to go. Just a lone field goal for him so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Williams. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Daquan Jones in on the tackle there.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first down.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Forced out to his left. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Wilson to throw. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go, and let's see who's faster.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
A give to Williams, right. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. 23 yards for Javonte Williams. And the Broncos are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Buffalo set to get the football back here. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And his throw is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Allen. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Allen. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. A big play here for Buffalo. 55 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They hand this off to Harris. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd down and 6 now. On play action, Allen throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Allen going to throw. And that is incomplete.
They'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
So on 4th down, off goes Allen. On comes Tyler Bass for the Buffalo field goal. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by Bass is good. And the Bills have come back to regain the lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks will tell you let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field. You see the numbers, all those carries. If you get that many carries in the drive, you better finish it with a touchdown, and he did.
Yeah, and deservedly so, right? Because we've seen times like the Carolina Panthers, sometimes Jonathan Stewart to carry the ball all the way down, and then Cam, he's such a great goal line runner, he'll carry it in. But in this case, though, that didn't happen. The fellow lugging the load, he's the one who got to reap the reward.
Yeah, there was no touchdown vulture here. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now it's Wilson. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
First down, Denver.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back, who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. They'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out, because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball in his hands a lot quicker.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 127 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. Well, they call a run on 3rd and a mile. Not only do they convert, but they tack on some yards at the end of it, too.
They went against what anyone would think would be a tendency, which is you're going to throw the ball on 3rd and a mile, right? But instead they decide to run the football, because sometimes what you get is the defense is playing a little bit lighter. A lot of extra defensive backs, and they're loosened up for the pass. They found some running room and really converted.
A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Bills are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The Bills going to take over now late in this first half. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. So after the INT, it's Allen. His throw incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To the air, Allen. A quick throw there is incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. This time they stay on the ground. And they get him down but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Allen now on first down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Throwing now is Allen. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on third down.
On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this will do the job nicely as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they'll begin inside their own 10, so field position certainly not in their favor here. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw the big man, Damian Harris, put together a solid first half. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. We say we use them to start the second half and get us going.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Up to make the play defensively, Tre'Davious White. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. so getting in there to bring him down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16. But they get the conversion anyway.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force them into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. And even 150 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That will put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. They'll get 34 yards there.
Well, that was a pretty good time for his first catch of the ball game, and it turned into a huge play as well. He's certainly not been a central part of this passing game so far in this one, but he made his presence felt there. A big pickup on 3rd down.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bills are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the 2nd half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Throwing to start the drive. Allen setting up the screen for Cook. Oh, heck of a move. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
That's quickly out wide to Davis. Will go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 44-yard line.
A quick throw into the hands of Hardy. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now it's 3rd and 3.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's 3rd and 3. Now Allen again. And this pass broken up. The contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 21. Here's Williams to start the drive. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd down and 8.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 46. Here's Wilson.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw.
Screen play set up for Williams. He's to the 15.
And finally wrestled down at the 11. It's a gain of 35. They're good at running the screen. Sometimes it's probably taken for granted, though. You need a good deal of deception in there, don't you?
You certainly do, and you know what else you need? The people who aren't involved in the deception to make sure they hold their blocks and someone doesn't flash too quickly in the face of the quarterback.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Adam Troutman, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down.
Set of downs started. They need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The kick by Maher is good. And that's going to tie us at 13.
So we're back to even after the short field goal. CD, you like the decision to kick it there?
Well, I'm glad you asked me if I like it and didn't ask me if I love it, because I'm not even sure I like it, but I do get it. First job on this drive, tie the game. They did that. But now they've got to put a challenge to their offense and say, can't settle for 3 anymore, guys. We've got to get the ball in the end zone from here on out.
All square now at 13-all as he sends this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On second down, here's Wilson. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. Now it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. The Buffalo defense does its job, and it's fourth down.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When those extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. This from 36 yards out. The kick by Maher is good. So the big return had them fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
So Fry now, after the made field goal, he'll send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Allen, left side caught by Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Allen. They will find Davis. That's complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. from midfield. Here's Allen. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 40. It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now a first down carry for Harris.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37.
Now here's another carry for Harris. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
A 55-yard attempt.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And we are all tied at 16 apiece. So a favorable bounce that time, to say the least, and he's able to convert the field goal there from a long distance.
Yeah, the guys behind the end zone didn't need to hike the net up for this one. That thing was a dying quail, but he finds a way to boink it off the crossbar and make it drop through.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The offense getting set again. We spotlight Javonte Williams, the running back.
He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams.
Down the right sideline.
And he'll be taken down at the 26.
A huge play there for Denver. 41 yards on the ground.
A wet track like this, I don't know if it helps anybody, but it probably helps the offensive player running the ball more than the defense.
And while they're doing that, there's also the matter of focus. Not letting the elements get in the way of still doing everything you're supposed to do. Although you do think to yourself, I've got to hold it a little bit tighter and be more careful with my footing.
He was careful, got a big run out of it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
3rd quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10.
The slot man in motion right.
They'll fake the jet sweep, and now off play action, it's Wilson. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. A great play there. 26 yards. And the Broncos have broken the tie. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Marr on for the extra point.
And they will take a 7-point lead now. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos.
Here's Fry now to send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Allen now looks to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Allen.
Hardy's got it on the out route.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
That's returnable now for Smith.
And just a 30-yard punt that time.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And showcasing those strong legs on that run, getting through 1 tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Now Wilson on 1st down.
Open man, he completes it to Judy.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but when he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
We're in the 3rd quarter in upstate New York with a 2nd and 10.
Now Wilson.
This one swung out to Williams.
And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 27-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll run it with Williams. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo.
This is 2nd and 8.
It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
That time he was looking for Jerry Jeudy for 3rd down here. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Now Wilson. Steps away to his left. And they stop him short of the first as he can only get to the 20. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. They'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest game we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
On 2nd down, Williams. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing.
Buffalo offense back out ready to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
The intended target there was Gabriel Davis.
And it's 2nd down. Here's Allen.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw, it's Allen. And that is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. Here's Sam Martin now, standing just outside his own goal line. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Denver Broncos back out there. Former Tar Heel Javonte Williams, we shine the spotlight on him.
He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or two.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. A good pickup there at 22.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
On the ground, this is Williams. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. Good gain there on 1st down, and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
Javonte Williams
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Broncos have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here this 4th quarter.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead now up to 14.
30, Bills 16.
So now Fry back out following the score. He'll send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
He goes once again right back to Hardy.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Harris running straight ahead, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Allen's throw here taken in by Knox.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Here comes third and the length of the football.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 26. Excellent play there on third down. Give them 25 yards.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
On the give, this is Harris. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now 2nd and 3. Finding Knox there, complete. And Knox is going to have the Bills first down as he gets this down to the 13-yard line.
It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice gain.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
At the 13-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. They juked him. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Touchdown, Bills!
Deontay Hardy from 4 yards out. And the Bills have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Williams. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive. But sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson. And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the first. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth.
The gain of 9 brings up 2nd and a yard at the 30-yard line.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They give it to Williams, running right. And he'll go down at the 28. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
Again, it's Williams. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams powers through.
And he is going to have the Broncos first, and that should be the capper.
And they will take a knee here. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. A give to Williams, running right. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
The win for the Broncos, seemingly assured. They go down to a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Buffalo.